You may wonder why folks in a lot of other countries are so poor. And the underlying reason is corruption. You've got a lot of corruption in the United States. There's, as in other countries, there's clandestine corruption where if they get caught, they're going to get in a lot of trouble. And there's open, overt corruption right out where everybody can see it. In the United States, it takes forms from A to Z, agricultural subsidies to zoning variances, where bureaucrats pick who can win and who can lose. Agricultural subsidies. Hey, vote for us and we'll give the farmers a lot of money. And there's all kinds of outrageous restrictions on what you can grow and when you can grow it. And in order to get by, you have to comply with these restrictions and get subsidies. The government has no authority to manipulate commodities prices, but that's exactly what they are maliciously doing. Now, bailouts, you know why they gave so much $600 a week extra when the pandemic first broke out in 2020, $600 extra in unemployment, because that was to keep the masses from complaining furiously about the humongous bailouts that big companies were getting, and then plowing some of it back in the form of campaign donations to the Democrats and the Republicans to prevent the Libertarians from winning. Well, you've got the corruption dragging on the economy that people are living under. And it's a lot worse in other countries. You've got to pay everybody off. They don't enforce the traffic laws as much because the cops can collect a bribe right there. There's a lot more of it in other countries. And most politicians don't want you to realize that, because they say, well, why not just attack the corruption in those countries? And they'll realize that there's the corruption that has to be attacked in the United States. It takes many forms, many manipulations where government bureaucrats pick winners and losers, and it has to stop. Vote for us and we'll impose zoning restrictions to prevent working class people from moving into the town. Now, I'd take a wild guess that most residents of the city of Beverly Hills would not mind if more Black people moved into the city, as long as they're rich Black people. Well, vote for us and we'll keep the poor inner city residents from moving into the city of Beverly Hills. And the way to preempt that is to elect members to the state legislature in Sacramento to pass California laws banning the imposition of zoning restrictions, because the inner city residents of Los Angeles cannot vote in the city of Beverly Hills, but they can elect state legislators that will stop the cities and towns from imposing zoning restrictions. Years ago, General Motors got a big bailout and Ford did not need one, because Ford was managing the company correctly and profitably, and General Motors was mismanaging it. And that's how the economy should work. If you mismanage your company, you should go under, you should disappear, go out of business. But no, the federal government bailed out General Motors, and that's a lot of jobs that should have gone to Ford. Ford should have increased its market share and gained the reward for running a business correctly. And General Motors should have had to pay the price. A lot of the General Motors workers would have gone over to Ford. Maybe Ford would have wound up buying some of those plants. We don't know, but it's not the government's job to bail out companies. If they go under, they go under.